Hello everybody. In last lecture, we have studied the form tag and how to display various types of forms on a website. Today, we are going to study a new topic, client-side scripting. In HTML, actually two types of scripting are used, client-side scripting and server-side scripting. This year, we are going to study only the client-side scripting, and next year, we are going to study both the scripting in detail. In client-side scripting, we are going to use a specific scripting language in our website program. Currently, whatever the programming we have performed under the HTML, that is only the documentation part. It is not having any calculation. It does not having any loops. It does not having any programming structure. Now we have to provide all these things in our program so that our program will be live program. We can interact with our program by using these scripting languages. Various types of scripting languages are used actually. JavaScript, then Perl, PHP, different types of languages are used. But this time we are going to study only the JavaScript as a scripting language. Now, this JavaScript is mainly used for the data validation. Validation means to cross-check. A script is a list of commands that are executed by a scripting engine. That means under this script language, we are providing different commands, different conditions, and these conditions and commands and instructions that will be executed by the scripting engine. Scripts are used to generate dynamic web pages on the web page. Already in our first or second lecture, I told you that web pages are of two types, dynamic web pages and static web pages. You may remember the difference in between the static and dynamic web pages. In static web pages, the contents remain as it is forever, and under the dynamic web pages, we can change the content as well as we can interact with the web page. This next one, scripts can be opened and edited by using the text editor. Right now we are using Notepad as the text editor, and we can directly open this script under that Notepad and can edit it. Now, how to insert this JavaScript in HTML? While inserting this JavaScript in HTML, we can use two positions. First of all, we can insert this JavaScript under the body tag. Here under body tag, we have to provide script language equal to JavaScript, and then we can provide the JavaScript statements, and then we'll have to give the end of script. This is one method, and another method is under the head section or under the head tag. Here after the end of title tag, we have to provide the script language, then statements, and then its end. These are the two positions. Within these two positions, we can prefer anyone. But as for the simplicity and to avoid more mistakes, we will prefer this method, that is under the body tag, we will provide script language as the JavaScript. Here, when we use this JavaScript under our programming language, our original program remain as it is, only the scripting part gets added to our program. Now, next point is the variables. The variable is the basic unit of storage in JavaScript programs. Now, how to declare the variables? I will not go in deep in the concept of variable, as you are very well known with this variable concept. Variable name may consist of alphabets, digits, underscore, and dollar character, and having the specific rules such that it must start with an alphabet. Then uppercase and lowercase are distinct. This means that the variable sum is not the same as the sum. That means it is case sensitive. Then third rule, it should not contain blank space or special symbol except underscore. That means only you can provide the underscore character while specifying the variable name. Then standard keywords are not allowed as variable name. For example, document, while, if. These are the specific standard keywords. It's JavaScript's own words. Therefore, we cannot use that words as the variable name. Variable name must be other words than its own keywords. Then last rule is variable name can be limited up to 255 characters. That means we can provide a variable name max up to 255 character. Then variable name in JavaScript is declared with the keyword var. Var is used to declare the variable name in JavaScript. For example, here var and then variable name. Here only one variable name is defined, and after that semicolon is provided to terminate that variable declaration. Then on next line, two variables are declared, and these two variables are separated by using this comma operator, where variable name, comma variable name, and after that provided the semicolon. Semicolon indicates the termination of the current portion. Therefore, here variable declaration is terminated with the semicolon. Here from these examples, we can say that we can declare only one variable on a single line, as well as we can declare multiple variables on a single line. But when we are declaring multiple variables, that variables should get separated with the comma operator. Now here to declare more than one variable, comma is used. Okay. Here some examples are given. First one, variable A. Variable has been declared. Here we have only declared variable A. Here we have declared variable ABC. Here this variable should be terminated with the semicolon. It is not provided, but it should be. Then here where Z equal to 40 and Y equal to 100. Here separate values are provided, separate values are assigned to these variables. Z having value 40 and Y having value 100. And for assigning the values, equal sign is used. And this equal sign is known as the assignment operator. We will see it further. This is all about the variable. Now let's move ahead for the data types. Computer stores different type of data and within different data type formats. Computer also having different languages, different softwares, and every time that having the different data types. Similarly, JavaScript is also having different data types. First data type is the number data type. This number data type stores only the numeric information. For example, here where y equal to 10 0 0 0 0 0. Here this value is assigned to the variable y. And whenever we are providing the number type data, that time initialized value must be in the numerical format. It may be the positive number or it may be the negative number, but it must be in the number format. Then second data type is the string type. Here we have to provide the data under the string, that means as the single quote data or as the double quote data. Then next one is the Boolean data type. Boolean data type indicates only one value. It may be true or false, it may be yes or no, or it may be male or female. Such type of indications can be given by using the Boolean data type. For example, if we have provided the variable x equal to true, or variable x equal to 1, or variable x equal to s, such type of declaration can be done under this Boolean data type. The next one is the infinity data type. We know that when we divide any number by 0, then that data or that expression results in the infinity. Infinity means it does not stops its output data, it goes in the infinite loop. And for that, here one example is given that a equal to 3 divided by 0. We are dividing 3 by 0 and it will output as the infinity. Then next data type is the null. Null means nothing, empty or unknown. When you are not sure about the specific value, or if you know that if it is empty, then you can specify it as a null. Also, when you have to provide the values for non-existing data, that time also you can provide its data type as the null data type. Then last data type is the undefined data type. Here, JavaScript returns undefined data type when variable which is declared but not assigned. That means only we have declared the variable as var x, but any specific value is not assigned. That time it is known as the undefined. Here one example is given that var age, and then only alert age. This alert function is used for the age, but any specific value is not assigned for the age. Such type of declaration is known as the undefined declaration. Then next topic is the operators. Just we have seen the data types. Different data types are number, string, boolean, infinity, null, undefined. And now next data type, next topic is the operators. Here different type of operators are used in JavaScript. First type of operator is the arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operator include various operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. Modulus means remainder after the division. If we have to perform such type of operations on the provided data, that time we have to use the arithmetic operators. Then next data type is the plus operator. Now this plus operator can be used in two methods. It works separately for the arithmetic data and it works separately for the string type data. When we are using it with numerical data, it just performs the addition. And when we are using this plus operator with the string data, that time it concatenates two strings. Here one example is given that here where a equal to 15 plus hello. That means value of a is 15, but here this numerical data is added with the string hello. Therefore, our output is 15 hello. Then next one here where a equal to 15 plus 7 plus hello. That means here addition of 15 plus 7, these two numbers addition is 22. 22 will be displayed and after that we will get the string as the hello. That means it concatenated the string. Here also if we provide plus JavaScript, then output will be 22 hello JavaScript. Okay, this is the use of plus operator in JavaScript. Remember it very neatly that when this plus operator it works with the numbers, that time it performs as the addition, and when it works with the strings, that time it concatenates the provided strings. The next one is the assignment operator. We have just studied some assignment operators, just like var equal to here, var a equal to 15. This is completely the assignment statement. Assignment operator is indicated by the equal sign. When we provide in equal sign and some specific data after that, then it is known as the assignment. Here some assignment examples are given where p equal to 400. That means 400 value is assigned to the variable p. Similarly, here 457.930 value is assigned to the variable E. Then where a equal to a plus 7, that means the original value of a will be added with the 7, and then that output will be stored under this a. Then we can store the string data also. Here's where str equal to hello and where c equal to d. That means we can assign any value to the variable by using the equal operator, and that this equal operator is known as the assignment operator. The next one is the expression. In general, what we are doing in maths also, we are specifying such type of values. Mathematically, these constructions are correct, but in computer, such type of constructions will display the error. When we have to provide any expression, that time here we can express it like this, where a equal to a plus 7, or where a equal to 15 plus 7, or c equal to a plus b, or c equal to a mod b. Such type of things or such type of declaration is known as the expression in computers. Here some examples are asked. Under these examples, only second example is the correct expression, as well as first one is also correct expression. Here we are storing the output in the left side variable, and at the right side we are performing the different type of calculations. Then after the expression, next operator is the relational operator. Relational operator means here we have to just show the relation in between the two sides of the data. That may be the expression or simple data. Here first operator is less than. Here if a is less than b, just for example, if we have to show that if marks is less than 35, then your result will be true. In that case, we can use this less than. Then greater than, if marks greater than 35, then your result will be pass. Then less than or equal to, if your marks is less than or equal to 35, then your result will be pass. If your marks is greater than or equal to 35, then your result will be pass. If your marks equal to 35, still your result is true. This is equal to. To specify the equal to sign, we have to use the double equal signs. This equal to indicate exact equal to the another part. That means the value of b is similar to the value of a. Both sides are equal. That is indicated by this equal to sign. And if both sides are not equal, that time we have to use not equal to. That means exclamatory and equal sign is used for the not equal to operator. Then next one is the logical operator. Logical operator, first one is the AND, second one is OR, and third one is NOT. Now when we have to perform specific things logically, and from that calculation, we have to go for the further calculations or further processing. That time we have to prefer the logical operations. Here one example is given that where age equal to 25. That means initial value of age is 25. Then where salary is 50,000. Provided salary is 50,000. And the provided condition is if age is greater than 55 and salary is 25,000, then perform the next steps. Here, depending on this statement, if this statement answers true, then your next statement will be executed. And if this statement answers false, then your next statement will not be executed. Okay. Therefore, this AND is used. This AND is used to check both the sides of the expression or the data. Here, both side of this data is, first one is the age is greater than 55. It will check this condition. If it is satisfied, then it will check the second condition. If both the conditions are true, then it will go for the further execution. Otherwise, it will come out of that loop. The next one is the logical OR. Here, example given that where number equal to 1 and condition is if number is less than 0 or number is greater than 100. Here, the basic difference in between and OR is and executes only when both the conditions are exactly true, but here under this OR, here both the condition should not be true. If only one condition is true, then also you can execute the next statement. Okay. Then not. Not means here only we have to provide the negative value or negative expression for the provided data. Here where z equal to 0. And if not z equal to 0, then perform the next steps. Okay. All these things are depending on our programming requirement. Then one more operator is the increment and decrement operator. Increment and decrement operators are of two types. Increment is of pre-increment and post-increment, and decrement is of also pre-decrement and post-decrement. Pre-increment means we are incrementing the value of the specific variable before its execution. And here in post increment, we are incrementing the value of the specific variable after its execution. Then pre-decrement, decrement the value and then execute it. Post decrement, execution should be performed and then variable's value will be decremented by 1. When we are specify plus plus 1 plus plus x, it indicates the value of x is incremented by 1. And here minus minus x means value of x is decremented by 1. In both cases, it may be pre or post. It will affect by only 1. Either it will increment by 1 or either it will decrement by 1. Okay, all these are the different type of operators. एक गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवा, याच्यामधले जे काही वेगवेगळे ऑपरेटर्स आपण बघितलेले आहेत, जसं प्लस, ऍडिशन, मल्टिप्लिकेशन, हे ऑपरेटरचे जे साइन्स बघितलेले आहेत, ते ऑपरेटर्स पैकी कोणतेही ऑपरेटर्स, कोणत्याही टाइपचे ऑपरेटर तुम्हाला एक्झाम मध्ये एमसीक्यूच्या अंडर विचारले जातील. Then next topic is the comments in JavaScript. Comments means the non-executable part in the program. This comment is used to provide the extra information for the user as well as for the third person. And under this comment, we can provide single line comment as well as multi-line comment. To provide the single line comment, we have to use the double forward slash before the starting of the line. And for the multi-line comment, we have to use slash star and at the end of the lines star slash. These are the two types of comments, single line comment and multi-line comment. Then next part is the functions. Commonly used built-in functions. Here actually in JavaScript or in any programming language, two types of functions are used. First type of function is the built-in function and second type of function is the user-defined function. Here some built-in functions are provided. Built-in functions means its own functions for which we have not to provide any specific declarations or more details. Only we have to use it in our program. Here first function is given as parse integer. This function is used to parse a string and convert it into a number. Here example is given that parse integer mh100. Now here mh is not the number. Therefore our output will be NaN, that means not a number. Then here parse integer 100, output will be 100. Then one more example, parse integer 100 mh, it will output as the 100. It will neglect last data which is in the character format and will display only the numerical format. Here see these two examples properly. When we are providing characters at the initial position, it will display the output as not a number. And when characters at the end, then it will display the numerical part as the output. Similarly, parse float. Here we have displayed the parse integer part. Here we are displaying the parse float part. It will display its float part, or it will convert the provided data into the floating part. Here mh100 again not a number, 100.00, output will be 100.00. It should be 100.00. Here 100 is the integer part. Correct it here. It should be 100.00. Then parse float 100.2, then mh. Here also mh is neglected and on output is only 100.2. Then third function is the alert. Alert, many times alert message is displayed on the screen. If any suspicious action is done, that time this alert message, confirm message, warning messages are displayed on the screen. And to display the alert message through our program, we have to use the alert function. Here one example is given that alert welcome to JavaScript or window.alert hello. Here when we open the current window or the specific window, that time it will display the hello message with the alert box. Then prompt. Prompt is used to accept the input from the user. Actually, it specifies specific data, provided data to the user and accepts input from the user. Here where n, that means one variable n is specified, and under this n variable we are asking the user to provide the value for the n, and for that we are using the prompt function. This prompt function will display this data on the screen, and through this data user will enter the value for the variable n. Then next one is the confirm. Anytime, many times any file can get deleted, and that time it asks, computer system asks the confirmation message to us. In our program we can also perform the same thing. Here we are using a one variable as answer, and answer equal to confirm, do you want to continue? Okay, here if you have to continue the same thing, then you have to go for the yes, or if you don't want, you have to go for the no. Computer system is just taking the confirmation from the user by using this confirm function. Then next one is the to lowercase. It will convert the provided data into the lowercase. Here where string equal to JavaScript, then this string function, here it is used again, equal to here string dot to lowercase. This to lowercase is the main function to convert the provided data by using this variable name. String equal to string dot to lower. Similarly, if we have to convert the specific data in uppercase, then string equal to string dot to uppercase. And if we have to check if the input data is if entered data is number or not, that time we can use the is nan. Nan means not a number. If it is true, then if it is number, then it will display the value true. If it is not the number, it will display the value false. These are some built-in functions in JavaScript. First one is the parse integer, second parse float, third one alert, next one prompt, one more is confirm, two lowercase, two uppercase, and each nan. These are built-in functions. Then next part is the decision-making statements. Now, under these decision-making statements, we have to study only the if structure this year. Under this if structure, we have to just check if the given condition is true, then perform the specific steps. And in next format of if, we have to use the else part. Here in this first format, if this condition is true, then perform these statements. Otherwise, don't do anything, just come out of this loop. And in second part, if this condition is true, then perform this part, and else under this else part, if this condition is not true, then perform this part. Here, if marks is greater than or equal to 35, then display the message as pass, else display the message as fail. Okay, this is the use of if else statement. This is known as the decision making statement. This if statement is used to make the specific decision if the given condition is true or false, and depending on that condition, we have to perform the next instructions. The next one is the user defined function. User defined functions means here user has to use its own function depending on the program requirement. Though here we have studied some built-in functions, but many times these built-in functions are not sufficient to complete the programming. And for that purpose, we have to use the user-defined functions. And these user-defined functions are used within our program. And to define that user-defined function, we have to use the function keyword, and after that specify the name as the function name, and then provide the function details. And then the last theoretical part of this lesson is the event handling. Event means the action. Different type of actions can be handled by using this event handling method. JavaScript is an event-driven language. That means depending on the specific event, specific actions will be performed. Event is an action done by the user or an application. It depends if specific action should be done by the user. That means if we have to click and then the next action will be performed, then it is user dependent action. And if we provided something only at the load event of the page, that time when we will run that application, it will take place directly. Then JavaScript's interaction with HTML is handled through the events that occur when a user or browser manipulates the pages. When the page loads, it is called an event. When the user clicks a button, that click is also an event. Other some examples are just press a key, close a window, resize the window. Different events are used. Now these events can be categorized as the mouse event and keyboard events. Mouse events are on mouse out. On mouse out means when we moves the mouse away from the element, that time it is known as the on mouse out. Then on click, when the user clicks the element, that time it is on click. on mouse over, that means if we move the mouse on the specific data, that time it is known as the on mouse over. And on mouse up, when we release the mouse button over that specific element, it is known as on mouse up. Similarly, some keyboard events are on key down, on key up, on click. These are the keyboard events. On key down means when the user passes a key, and on key up means when the user releases the key. These are some of the event handlers. Now, features of the JavaScript. Depending on this event handling and depending and up to whatever the different topics we have studied under the JavaScript, some specific features are summarized here. First feature is perform input data validation. Initially, I told you that the basic purpose of the JavaScript is the validation. That means if the entered email ID is correct or not, if the entered phone number is correct or not, to cross-check it or to validate it, JavaScript is used. Then it is lightweight scripting language. Lightweight scripting language means we can provide or we can generate our program in any platform, and we can run that program on any platform. Just for example, we can type our program in Notepad and can run the program in any browser as well as in any operating system. That may be Windows or that may be the Apple. The next one, it is the case sensitive. Case sensitive is just we have seen that under the variable example of sum is given, that sum and sum, small case sum and capital sum, both are different. Then one more feature, it can handle date and time effectively. Scripting is inserted into our HTML to provide the programming effect to handle date and time effect properly. And therefore, this feature of JavaScript is included. And last feature is it makes web page more interactive. We have seen that one feature of JavaScript, that it provides the dynamic effect to the web page. And due to that dynamic effect, our web pages are generating more and more interactive. Therefore, these are the 5 features of the JavaScript. Okay, tomorrow or in next lecture, I will give you the practical demonstration of the JavaScript programs. This third chapter is for your MCQ exam. Today we will stop here.